of immature female crabs there is during the whole summer season, soft-shell crab season. So you got the full moon, they put the Barry White on and light the candles, one thing leads to another. But what happens after they mate with this soft-shell crabs, once she sheds her shell, he'll actually hold her until she reforms that hard shell again, just so predators that are in here looking for these crabs won't get to her. Once she reforms that hard shell, he'll let her go and he'll go look for another one to mate with.
Now how long does that take?
They can mate up to 6-7 hours.
So they'll reform their hard shell in 6 to 7 hours?
Yeah. Depending on how hot the water is, if the water's really warm, it'll get harder a little bit quicker. The cooler it is, the longer it'll take them. For the shell to get hard enough. But certain times of the year you can find just about anything up here in these grass beds. We've caught cow nose rays doing this before. We've caught terrapins. You saw all the stuff in the tank down there, pufferfish and seahorses and all that kind of stuff. So pretty much anything shows up in here during the summer months. But these grass beds, the thing about them, they had to design boats in order to work these grass beds called bar cats. Now this boat draws about 4.5 feet of water, so you couldn't get in there way close to the bank like those bar cats can. Some of those bar cats they're so flat that they can go in as shallow as 20 inches of water and still be able to keep going. So naturally, the shallower water you get in, the more grass you're going to find. So this enables, those boats enable them to get in there where all that grass is. And once this gets started, the soft-shell crab is part of the fishery. Very labor-intensive job. Their day can start as early as 2:30 in the morning, go till 8, 9 o'clock at night. Just catching these crabs, shedding them out, getting them out of the water, packing them up, and shipping them off to the buyers. Depending on how many crabs they've got, the whole family can get involved in it. While their husband's out catching the crabs, his wife and children will be back at the crab shanty watching over these crabs, waiting for them to shed out. So, and at the height of the crabbing season, just a few years ago, you would probably send 50, 60 boats a day working these grass beds. Due to, like we were talking with the hard crabs, with the regulations and stuff, a lot of people have gotten out of the seafood industry and gone for other jobs. What percentage of hard-shell crabs did we say used to come from here in the bay?
Like over 50%.
Well, they tell us about 80 to 85% of the soft-shell crabs used to come from right here.
Wow.
So that was a very, very important industry.
How do you know when they're going to shed? Isn't there a sign?
Hopefully we're going to catch some crabs and we're going to show you.
Okay. The only way I've ever seen is they give Charles a little wink. He says the other stuff, but that doesn't make any sense. I think they just wink at him.
We catch some. We'll show you that. Let me ask you something. How far north and how far south on the east coast do you think blue crabs range?
I don't know. I think Maryland to Virginia.
Maryland to Virginia.
And North Carolina, I know they.
They're North Carolina. Come on, give me some guesses.
No, Louisiana. They're doing Louisiana.
Louisiana, Florida. Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania doesn't have a coast.
Argentina.
Yeah. Jersey.
Yeah, they've actually been found as far north as Nova Scotia and as far south as the northern tip of Argentina. Or down in the Gulf. So when you stop and think that about 80 to 85% of them used to come from right here in Chesapeake Bay. It's a pretty important fishery. So most of the guys pull 2 of these. Right now there's a lot of grass on the bottom, a lot of what we call red moss that's been in here all summer long, and it's really, really heavy because it holds a lot of water, and you're going to see when we pull this in, because we're throwing it overboard, but guess who's pulling it back?